Dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into Bandit again, a war game from over the wire designed to sharpen your Linux and cybersecurity skills. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. Now let's jump in and start hacking our way through Bandit. The level I'm going to do will be level 32. Let's have a look at this description. There is a Git repository at this address. This is the same as the previous levels, and the password for the user is the same as the user Bandit 31. So I think from the description, we understand in this level we are still going to be working with Git. So then we can head over to Linux VM. First of all, we need to SSH to the target. Let me auto-complete this command. Also make the font to be bigger so you can see what's going on exactly. As before, I explicitly specify the port number with option of -P because this port number 220 is not default once by SSH service. So then we can hit enter. And it's asking us to supply the password of a current user. No problem. I have already made a copy to clipboard so that we can right click and paste from clipboard and then hit enter. All right, we are in the target machine. We can press keys Ctrl Shift and L to clear the screen. Then we can get bigger space. Okay, so as usual, I always run command, although this is not required or necessary. Anyway, I'd like to run ls command with option of ALH to list directory content. Okay, nothing here. So, of course, I think as the previous level, we should clone the repository. But before we do that, before we clone the repository, we can create or make a folder or directory in the TMP or temp directory. As you know from the previous levels, we know that we only have proper permissions to save files in the temp directory. So how to create such a folder or directory? We can use command mk temp and with option of -d. This stands for directory. Otherwise, this command will create temporary file rather than directory. Okay, so now we can press enter. As you can see, the folder or the temporary directory has been created with random name. So this will not conflict with other guys who are doing the bandit at the same time. Okay, so now we can use command cd to navigate into this directory, and then we can play around everything in this directory. Okay, so next I think, of course, now that we have already created our working directory, then we can clone the repository, and the command I'm going to use is git and clone, and followed by the address. We can copy the address from its description, paste in here, and as previous levels, we need to specify the port number. Otherwise, this will not work. And we can put the column between the directory or absolute path and the host name. And here, let's press enter. And of course, we want to continue connecting, and we need to, because as instructed by this description, the password for the user Bandit 31 JIT is the same as the user Bandit 31. So we can copy this password from notebook, and then we can paste in here. All right, as you can see from the progress, we have already, cloned the repository to our own machine, and we can run command ls with option of ALH. As you can see, we have already got this repo or repository. So let's see what are the files that are present in the repository. We need to cd into this directory, and let me clear screen again, and we need to run ls LLH options again. We can see that there is a file called as readme md. The extension is md. It means that the mark it down file, and we can cut out this file. And here, so this time our task is to push a file to the remote repository, and also, we must be following the details. You can see over here, file name. Yeah, this is the file name, and the content of this file, the branch is master. Okay, so I think, of course, we need to push or commit the file to the remote repository. However, besides this readme markdown file, we can see another file which is called gitignore. I think the name clearly tell us what this file is pertaining. Okay, so such a file is used to tell JIT which file should not be added in the repository, and this comes in handy later, so we need to keep that information in mind. And we see that this time we have been instructed to add a file to the remote repository. We are given a file name and the content that we needed to be added in the file, as well as the branch to which the file needs to be pushed. The branch is master, and create a new file. So I think we can create the file. We can use like echo. Let me copy the content of this file and use redirect operator to save to key.txt file. Okay, it's done. So now the content is the same as this one. So next, what we need to do, we need to have a look at this file, ignore. We can cut out the git ignore, ignore text, the asterisk dot txt. So what this means? So it means that if any file with the extension of txt is made in the repository folder, it should not be considered part of the repository. So if we try to add the new file that we created just now, this one, we can run ls command again, this file, and this will not push to the remote repository. So to push this file to the remote repository, we have to delete this file. Okay, so how to delete? Command is very easy. We can run rm and rf option, git ignore. Okay. So now that we have already deleted the gitignore file, so now we can use git add command to make our wanted change, and then we can push it to the remote repository. How to do? We can use git add and period. So what this command does, we just instruct git what files need to be added into the staging area of git. And here the dot or the period means add all files with changes. We are telling git to add all files that we have changed in the repository folder or directory to the staging area. So then I think after performing the above two steps, we have added the file key.txt file and deleted the gitignore file from the repository, and then we can commit. Just now we of course we just added the change. We need to commit this, and we can put the comment like add key.txt file. So far the change will only be on our local copy, right? Rather than remote repository. So how to do? We need to push this change to the remote repository. How to do? We can run git and push, and followed by the the lim origin. This indicates we are the lim of the repository that cloned. Okay, origin and the master. Okay, let's press enter. Yes, and we need to provide the password again, so we can copy and paste in here. As you can see, we successfully got the password for the next level. So I think in this video I demonstrated how to push the change to the remote repository. But to be more important, we need to understand what the gitignore file means or does. And to get the challenge done, we need to manipulate or delete this file. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the